Hey Titans, this is Mickett. Just going to do a war recap of our last war. Titans versus Los Mansaskey. We never did quite figure out what that meant. Los Mansa means the meek, but I'm not sure. Mansaskey is an anagram for Mensa yaks, so they're very smart sort of upper hills animals. I don't know. Anyways, it was 70 to 58. Did a good job right out of the gates, and they weren't able to catch up. One thing as a side note, never assume just because we get way up right out of the gates that means that somebody isn't going to catch up, because obviously they didn't use probably more than about 16 attacks for the first 12 hours. And because we war against lots of clans from different parts of the world and with different rules of how they attack and how they go about things. So make sure you're always doing smart attacks, certainly on the first attack. And on the second attack, it's really just trying to say what's left, and you can always ask a co. Anyways, good job, 70 to 58. I'm just going to kind of go over a few of the different things as we look through this. First of all, looking at the war stats, what won it for us for the day is the 3 stars, 18 to 11. And we had a very good start at the beginning. I think one of my favorite attacks there was Al's attack. It was just really phenomenal. Not the one that's shown down. Yeah, that one right there. But going through here and just taking a look at all that, we had really good participation across the board. The one Luke didn't participate because he went over to Titanville and he got caught in the web of being in this war by mistake. But anyways, really good participation in that won it. They had some trouble getting points up top. Then again, a couple of us, like me, had a little trouble too. But they didn't get all their attacks in, but they really did do quite a few attacks. And so they had good participation. And that's what we're going to find more and more of as we start getting up the ranks. Now, what we don't know is whether or not as we become higher ranked in our clan ranking, as we're number 2 right now, if you look at us right here, I don't know if that's going to rank us up against more 2s. It doesn't automatically do it for sure, because our next one was a 2 versus 1. I don't think that's going to come into play at all, but we'll see as that goes up. So anyways, good job. I'm going to do a few replays here. First of all, I'm going to get the one that I told you about that I really liked, and then I'm going to pick one other one. I'm going to pick Al's wrong side. I'm going to pick Al's replay right here on number 5, Nicholas. And I really like this because he does such a good job of being able to get all these clan castle troops out of here and then deal with them very handily, and then be able to keep a lot of his troops alive so that he's able to make best use of them. But I'm just going to blow this up a little bit just so you can see how he handles this. Al handles them a little bit differently than most people. He tends to bring a lot of wizards, and that is a very good way to do it. The key is, of course, trying to get back to those wizards there in the back with some of your wizards, because otherwise, if your wizards all line up, and you notice also he puts them in a semicircle, and so it really handily deals with just about anything that's there. It can be a little difficult on a witch, but okay, let's back this up a little. He's going to then bring in his Barb King, a little bit as a meat shield for, and he also brings in those witches. And here come the hogs. So the hogs, what does he do? First, one of the things that I'm trying to impress upon people is if you bring in the hogs from the same side as where your clan castle kill troops come from, your clan castle kill troops get to stay alive a lot longer, because the hogs are going to take out all those defenses that you see them starting to work on. They're going to take out that cannon. They're going to keep going. Another thing that's important that he's also done here is you notice this queen is hopping across here. Well, he has his Barb King and his Archer Queen and all his, not all the kill troops, but a lot of them, a lot of the skellies are headed over towards that Archer Queen and going to take her out. She's going to probably focus on a few of these hogs, but she's not going to be able to spend all day doing that because they're going to get in there. Now, take a look at that. She's hitting some of the hogs, but then the Barb King is going to aggro on her, try and get in there, and at this point, you just trust it's going down. There, the Archer Queen goes down, trips a bomb there. Another thing that you notice about this, I'm just going to stop it real quick, is you notice that there's no place for double bombs. Should have done that right at the beginning, but there's no place in the inside of this for double bombs, only single giant bombs. And so because he's coming with hogs, you got to watch for where those giant double bomb pairs are. However, because there aren't any possibilities, he's really just got to make sure he's healing through any of those spots. You see how he has it covered over that possible one? A Tesla pops there anyways, not a big deal, but he stays ahead of these. And watch where he puts his next heal spell. When he puts his next heal spell, he's going to put it down some of those guys are not getting healed when he puts it down, but he puts it down in front of them where they're headed to, on top of those defenses. You got to know where Hog's going. And watch this again. He's going to do the same thing. I haven't even watched the replay of this one in a long time, and I just know what he's going to do because I know how he should do it, and he does a great job with it. He brings in those Clan Castle Hogs from the backside there, does a great job with that. Now, all these guys, this is what Al is so good at, is that all these guys end up on the Barb King. And so the Barb King just goes right down right away, and then he's got all these Hogs left. And this is just going to, he's going to wipe this out, just decimate it very quickly. I think he's going to run into a giant bomb here somewhere because there's got to be some on the outside. He already hit one of them, but there's going to be another one somewhere in here. But it's not such a big deal because he's already gotten through most of the base. And what you really got to stay away from those giant bombs early on in the attack, or even halfway through the attack, because if you trip one of those at the wrong time, I think they just passed one there. If you trip one at the wrong time, then you're in a lot of trouble, because then you won't be able to get through all the base, and the defenses will take you apart. Great job by Al. If you want to learn how to hog, watch Al. He does a great job with it. All right, and I'm going to hop over and I'm going to pick one other one, an early one. I'm going to pick one, Concon attacks. Someone here. Concon versus Mephistopheles. And I picked this one because Concon does a great job with it, and because Mephistopheles is just a cool name. I like to say Mephistopheles. Rumor has it that when Con was actually attacking this one, he was actually singing the song from Cats. Oh, well, did I ever, or have I ever met a cat so clever as Magical Mr. Mephistopheles. That's going back in the memory banks. All right. So anyways, he goes and he shortens this side. Really important thing. You guys who are new at Dragons, or even ones who haven't figured this out, look how he's shaped this field. He's going to attack here from the side right next to where that lab is, but the dragons will have nowhere to spread to because he's just been patient. These dragons aren't getting hit by ADs out here. He knew they wouldn't, but he's really taken out quite a few buildings, so now the dragons aren't going to spread out. One of the things you see is that people who are new at Dragons, even people who are old at Dragons that have been using for a while, have this trouble, but people who are new at Dragons will end up dropping all their dragons down on one side and just hope and pray that they go to the middle. Don't let that happen to you. Okay, so he's dropping these. I'd still drop them in a semicircle, but that's fine. He drops them there. They don't have much where to spread, and as that dragon gets attacked, or first the dragon gets attacked here, they're going to go in. He's going to drop his rage. He's only got to go through 3 of these, one of them which is a low AD. Now watch, he comes in with some max loons here. He does a good job in the dropping. You get those into the rage because balloons are so slow without a rage that you got to get them through a rage at some point. And timing is key. It doesn't quite get to the AD as fast as he wants to, but you know it works out just fine because that dragon starts absorbing some damage. But at this point, the raid is all but done because he's gotten rid of the ADs and he still has plenty of cleanup troops left. Yeah, the balloons aren't gonna get it all done, but the dragons are gonna come along here and finish it off. So. Good job. And then he brings his Barb King in from the backside there just to get rid of that archer tower, and he rages it and uses that there. Good job. Nothing left here. Just going to kind of speed through this because this is all foregone conclusion at this point. You know, I believe it was going to go off of Mephistopheles, go to Aristotle. Aristotle said, well begun is half done. And, you know, when you start off a raid on the right foot with a good plan, it pretty much gets to the point where there's nothing that can really pop up that can really surprise you unless you've really brought the wrong set of troops to the raid in the first place. If that happens, well, that's a problem. But if you brought the right set of troops and you have a good plan of attack, you're going to be able to be successful. I can't guarantee a 3-star every time, but you're going to be successful in doing really well and decimating the base because every base has a weakness. And I'll talk about that in a future video probably, that every base has some sort of weakness that you can exploit. And if you look at it the correct way and be able to shape the field, you can do a great job. So good job by Concon. Good job, Titans. Another win. We're really making our way up there. I'm trying to remember what we're at here. We're at, how many wins we're at? 86. So good job. Make sure you like and subscribe, and go Titans.